right, guys, let's dive right into it. You know, the media world is like buzzing with this ongoing clash between what some people are calling woke reporters and those they criticize. And I mean, this drama is playing out across interviews, debates, and, you guessed it, press conferences. Recently, there's been an uptick in these encounters where reporters, maybe trying to corner public figures with gotcha questions, are finding themselves on the receiving end of, how do I put this, some pretty unshakable comebacks. One such incident that grabbed a whole lot of attention was an interaction with Pierre Poilievre, a Canadian political figure.
Trust you with their vote, given, not just the sort of ideological inclination in terms of taking the page out of Donald Trump's book, but
what are you
also
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me a page? Give me the page. You keep saying
in terms of turning things quite dramatically in terms of Trudeau and the left wing and all of this. I mean, you make quite a it's quite a play that you make on it. So I'm
not
just
sure.
wondering.
I don't know what your question is.
Then forget that. Why should Canadians trust you with their vote?
Common sense.
Okay.
Common sense for a change. We're going to make common sense common in this country. We don't.
So he's like calmly sitting there, munching on an apple, while a reporter tries to challenge him with some pointed questions. What happened out there? What really happened? Well, Poilievre dismantled the accusations effortlessly with calm facts and a touch of humor.
I'm not going to recite some catechism for you. I'm against vicious racial discrimination in this country. So I'm not pledging allegiance to your new religion of modern wokeism, which actually fits the test. I'm not going to bend the knee to your religion. I'm sorry. I'm not asking you to bend the knee to mine, and I'm not going to bend the knee to yours. But do I condemn vicious racial discrimination? Yes, I do. Am I going to play your silly game of gotcha? No, I'm not. And frankly, this is why people have lost trust. And I know you're going to go print the headline tomorrow. I already know this. We already know how your game works. Vivek Ramaswamy refuses to condemn white supremacy because you asked a stupid question. The reality is, I condemn vicious racial discrimination in this country, but the kind of vicious and systematic racial discrimination we see today is discrimination on the basis of race in a very different direction. You want to know what the best way is to end discrimination on the basis of race? Stop discriminating on the basis of race. Do that and we're going to move this country forward. And I don't care whether you're black or white or brown or anything in between. That's how we're going to unite this country. You people have been responsible for dividing this country to a breaking.
It's like the reporter had no choice but to retreat, as Poilievre didn't break a sweat. You know, it's fascinating because he maintained this cool demeanor while, raising valid points about how his approach isn't about taking a leaf out of Trump's book or what have you, but more about bringing common sense to the forefront in Canadian politics. And then we've got Vivek Ramaswamy, who's no stranger to tough questions himself.
I have noticed that most of the guests are mostly white males of 22 episodes.
Yeah, let's get into that.
No, but you
take a look over here, Peter. What do you see? A lot of whiteys. What's going on here? Oh, this really pisses me off. But go ahead. It really pisses me off. People think it's the census or something. I mean, this has got to represent the actual pie chart of America. Who cares? It's just funny. Funny is the world that I live in. You're funny, I'm interested. You're not funny, I'm not interested. Okay. And I have no interest in gender or race or anything like that, but everyone else is kind of with their little calculating, is this the exact right mix?
A reporter pressed him to condemn white supremacy, expecting, I guess, a specific answer, but Vivek wasn't playing games. He boldly called out the reporter's tactics, stating he's against racial discrimination, but, he's not going to bow down to, a new form of woke religion. Clearly, his stance was about unity and moving forward beyond divisive politics, which he articulated even amidst the reporter's attempts to steer him otherwise. On another note, we ventured into territory with Donald Trump. Okay, love him or hate him, interviews involving Trump never fail to stir the pot. Back in 2016, there was a particular moment when a reporter twisted his words from years ago, hoping to highlight Trump's alleged pro-choice stance. Trump didn't, waste any time setting the record straight. He called out the partial quotations and demanded the full context be acknowledged. It's like one of those instances where you just see the power dynamics at play, with Trump taking control of the interview narrative. Onward to entertainment, you guys might have heard of Jerry Seinfeld's feel on comedy and, authentic humor, right? During an interview, he was queried about why the guests on his show, comedians in cars getting coffee, were predominantly white males. Jerry's response was simple, yet enlightening. Funny knows no race or gender. To him, if you're funny, you're interesting, and that's all that matters. His bold statement, "It's anti-comedy to worry about diversity over humor," sort of waved off any attempts to politicize comedy. Do you guys, agree with separating comedy from social scrutiny? Now, there was another fascinating debate on gender-neutral spaces. A discussion on television turned heated as perspectives clashed over gender-neutral bathrooms and the broader implications for privacy and safety. The debate captured why this topic is, well, so polarizing.
Asking is, what is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What is your expertise?
What a tragic story of a young man who's by his adult family member. So you have Joy, you said you'd let me answer, so
Sure.
I'm going to answer
Please
for you. In what context is a strap-on acceptable for public school? That's my question to you. Tell me what the context around the strap-on or the of a minor child by a teacher.
Hold on a second.
No,
wait,
we're talking about public school.
One moment.
All right.
So now you've asked me a question.
Sure.
And I'm going to answer it.
Okay.
Well, who is the main character? What's the name of the main character in All Boys Are Blue?
You're asking me right now.
You just gave me very specific information about this book, so you're presenting yourself as somebody expert.
On one side, there was an advocate for liberalized bathroom policies arguing from a standpoint of inclusivity, while opponents raised concerns about privacy and safety for women. So, in all of these cases, you see this recurring theme of public figures standing their ground amidst some intense media scrutiny. The media insists they're just pushing for accountability, while critics argue that it's all about pushing personal agendas that don't always fit with everyone. And lastly, maybe one of the more dramatic turns this narrative takes is with Trump supporters facing media taunting. A particular moment went viral where a reporter was called out for, allegedly mocking a Trump supporter in Iowa. The supporter accused the reporter of spinning narratives and not portraying the whole truth, and they demanded accountability. What these stories illustrate is this ongoing tension and sort of battle lines drawn between media figures and their subjects, asking us to question how much of what we see is balanced reporting versus narrative-driven agendas.
It's not. I was in Vicky's arena.
Who pays for it?
I was in Vicky's arena. Let me just tell you.
It says more about the people who are getting offended by it than her.
I think they're just disappointed that she appears to have been captured by the woke mob.
You don't like it.
And here's the disappointment.
It's the white privilege.
Let him articulate this because I want to learn something.
I feel a little bad for her because she's going to learn that it will never be enough. No matter how much of the phrasing, no matter how much of the groveling you do, it will never be enough for the people in that league that hate her guts.
Why do you assume
they hate her guts?
Why do you assume that she is trying to pander? Isn't it also...
Because I hear the language. It's the language of the pander. I hear the phrase white privilege. Sports is the one place where nobody on the field has any privilege at all. She doesn't get extra points when she shoots because she's white. She gets the same number of points as anybody else. Sports is the great equalizer, and it just felt like to a lot of people that she was groveling for no reason because she is an amazing player who deserves all the accolades she's getting.
To put it plainly, viewers are increasingly scrutinizing not just the interviewees, but interviewers themselves. So, how about you guys? Where do you stand on the issue? Let me know down in the comments. Is it all sensationalism, or do you think these encounters are truly an attempt to challenge public conversations constructively? Anyway, that's the roundup for today. Thanks for tuning in and sticking around until the end of the video. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share your thoughts below, and catch us in our next video where we keep breaking down the latest events and debates. Until then, take care